Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to the By the 3D Modeler. In this video, I will show you how to create this third one, monster. So without wasting our time, let's get to it. First of all, we add a cube and add 2 levels of subdivision to it. Add one loop cut from both sides and add mirror modifier to its body to mirror it onto the hole, just like that. Now shape the body just like the reference. I made a picture of this character. I made it, not I captured this picture, and I will set the shape from the side view as well, and set the shape as it looks good. Now move some vertices down and move some here and there, just like that, to fit the shape. Now move them and look from every angle. And now we have to add some legs and arms. First of all, we will add arms to it and delete the both top and bottom faces and set them and align them as the picture. Set them from one side, other side will be mirrored, just like that. Now move them some inwards, move some vertices like that. Now duplicate the arms and delete this loop right here. And now extrude this top and scale them and move them a little bit close. Now set them 0. Now duplicate this loop right here from the bottom of the leg to make the shoes. Now extrude it downwards and move it a little bit back and extrude it again and move this loop forward. Move this loop up and fill this and make the shoes like that. Move some vertices top and move some up and move some down to fit the shape. Now our shoes is almost looking good. And now extrude the top loop and scale them and add one loop cut in the middle. The rest of the loop will go down just like that. Move them a little bit back and scale them just like this. Move these down, move these back, and some move these up. Now we can fill them or extrude them and extrude them inwards and set them 0 and scale them 0 and set the shape of the shoes like that. Now scale them like that. Move them a little bit to the side to match the shape. Okay, now everything is looking much better. Nice. Now set and tweak some edges if you see any problem. And now Alt S this shoes for better result. Now tweak some edges right there. We have to set them 0 or we can increase it to give it some solid thickness like that. Set them 0, move them a little bit up, and now we increase it like that to give it looks much better when we crease it like that. Now duplicate the arm loop like that to make the hand of this character. Now extrude this and extrude it inwards, extrude the top part, and now add one loop cut right there, and now align the shape according to the shape of the picture. Now align it correctly and move them and set them from the side as well. Now duplicate this face right here and extrude them to make the fingers. We increase some edges to make the fingers more better. Now move them to the side. We can align it according to the references, but it is not a good way for a 3D object. When we rotate it, it doesn't look good. So we have to rotate it like that and set it like that. Now we can move them and Alt S and scale them by Alt S. We can do that just like this to the rest of the fingers as well. Scale them like that. And now move some vertices up and move them down. Only one finger is enough. Then we will duplicate them to the whole hand. Only 3 fingers we need, like that, just like this. Now we increase some areas and duplicate this finger, one right here and one right there. Okay, now our finger and our hands are almost complete, and it is complete. Now we have to make the head, or we can make the shoulder and leg cuffs. like that. Duplicate this look right here. We can do this later, but try if it looks good. Like that. Move some down and move some up to match the shape. As I said, we can do this later after we made everything. And move the legs and shoes a little bit back, just like this. Okay, now Alt F everything and set the shape like this loop right there. Move the weight bit up like that. Now everything is kind of looking much better. Now unhide the hands, and now we have to select the arms to make the shoulder cuffs and duplicate this loop right here. Add one loop cut right there. We can do this later after we made everything, just like chest part. Now make it an single object, and by joining the hands and the legs and shoes. And now duplicate this part right here from the body and give it some solidness like that. Move them up, move them down, and delete these faces for our arms to be where our arms are. Now extrude this vertex right here and extrude this vertex right here. Now fill them and now fit the shape like that. Now select the whole loop and move them according to the mesh and to fit the shape. Now extrude this face right here and we increase this and give it some sharpness. A little bit sharpness is enough. That's looking much better. Now move them a little bit up to make it a little bit shorter. Now select these parts right here and duplicate this. We need to keep it low mesh in the start and duplicate this part right here for the head. Okay, now move them and assign them, select them like that and give it some solidness, or we can extrude it manually. Now move them and scale them a little bit on the X and on the Y and move these a little bit on the X and set the shape according to the picture, according to how it looks. Now rotate them, add one loop cut right there, move them a little bit forward and move them a little bit side, just like that. This looks much better. Now we need to extrude some faces like that to give it some hard, solid and big head. Now select this loop right here and duplicate this to make the mouth. Now we have to add some loops, right, some there and some there, but first we need to move some vertices down and fit the shape like that. We need to give it some extrusion, or we can shrink wrap it around the head and extrude it, or we can add solidify it. Now we need to subdivide these edges right here and add subdivision to it and delete this face right here. This makes the hole for our mouth. We can fill them manually, fill these vertices like that for edge movement. Now add one loop cut right here and bevel this and delete these faces right there and scale them according to how it looks, just like that. This is kind of looking better. Now shrink wrap it around the head and we can give it the solidness manually, or we can add the solidify modifier. Be careful to use the shrink wrap modifier like that. We increase these a little bit, or we can do this later. Now shrink wrap again and give it some thickness. Move some edges or vertices close to it. Now duplicate this face right here and scale them and make it the separate object. Now extrude this face right here. Move them here and move them back. Now move the vertices and extrude them according to the picture to make the ears, or hair. I don't know what these, but they look like ears. Okay, now extrude them and make it shape look good. Now move them and select all and place it and move them a little bit back and move them a little bit closer and make it a little bit smaller. Alt S to give it some thickness and a little bit fluffiness. Now give the head a little bit of a solid subdivision to make it smoother, but don't join them at once. Don't join all parts at once because some can have solidify or another modifier. Now duplicate this loop right here from the left. Now keep everything a separate object. Now duplicate this as face loop and make the leg cuffs and now set the shape. Move them a little bit to the side and now move the edges, leg cuffs, leg guards and place them and set the shape as in the picture. Now scale them and increase them where they looks good. Now increase some areas and give it some solidness too. Now move them up and scale them just like that. Now add one loop cut right there. Now move some vertices close to the body like that. Now duplicate these to make the shoulder cuffs as well. Now rotate them and scale them and set them according to the shoulders like that and move them a little bit down just like this. Now our shoulder guards and arm guards are looking good and now everything is looking good. Now we have to color some and give it some thickness and some tightness for better result. Now we have to move these side and apply all modifiers and color, but first color them and make the eyes like that. Now subdivide this face right here. Only one time subdivision is better. Now place them and set the shape according to the eyes. Now fill them and insert them. Now we have to color them. Now select everything with the same color and select link color to it and color them. Eyes a little bit white and black and insert them for better eye shape. Don't add shrink wrap modifier if it makes a problem. Just like there. Now our everything is looking much better. Now select everything and apply all modifiers of every object. Join the objects if there are similar modifiers in them and make it a single object. Make the whole character a single object and we can shade smooth it and we can auto smooth it. That's let work. Thanks for watching. This was the third character from the first category and now we have to place some plane and give some render setting and our final result is this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Allah.